what culture shocks have you experienced that made you go, oh boy? You can also start a YouTube channel just like me. Share your experience with other people as well. People actually treat their pets like their children. I can't get over it. I just can't get over it. Hello, welcome to my channel. This Kosi here again. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. As usual, if you're a new subscriber, hey, welcome to the party, welcome to the community. In this channel, I do my best to share my experiences as a newcomer in Canada. So I give you first-hand information about the things that I have experienced since I moved here, so that you kind of know what to expect when you move. Or if you're a newcomer in Canada, you know someone shares in your struggle with you, if you know what I mean. And if you're an OG, hey, what's up, what do you do? I hope you've been keeping safe since my last upload. Okay, so I saw something on Twitter, and unfortunately I'm unable to link the tweet here. So anyway, the tweet was about culture shock many people who move to new countries as adults face, and all the comments in that thread were hilarious. Like, you would think that maybe you're the only one who sees these things as weird, but it's just kind of comforting to know that there are other people that struggle with the same things that you struggle with when you move to a new country. So I thought it would be nice to make a video about my own experiences with culture shock since I moved to Canada. So today's video is going to be a mix of funny and annoying, but interesting. So don't go anywhere if you want to know what culture shocks I have experienced since I moved to Canada as a newcomer. So before we go into today's video, this is me saying thank you to all 500 plus of you that think that subscribing to my channel is beneficial and profitable to you. Thank you so much. We've hit the 500 subscribers mark. Next up, 1,000 subscribers. As usual, I have divided today's video into several sections. So the first point that I'd like to talk about with regards to culture shocks that I have experienced here is integrating into the workplace in your work area, in your workspace where you are employed, your colleagues, your bosses, your employers. One thing I first noticed when I arrived here is that titles don't mean nothing. Like, we are very big on titles back at home, but here you can be talking to someone who is an engineer, as well as a doctor, as well as a PhD holder, and you would never ever guess. Everyone actually communicates with each other based on first name basis. No titles. Your titles don't mean nothing here. Another thing is age, especially in the workplace. I'm used to a system where once I'm 2 years older than you is a big deal, especially in the workplace. But here, I actually work with people who are like the same age mates with my parents. And when I communicate with these people, I call them on their first name basis. I mean, you don't have to be disrespectful, but the point I'm trying to make is that respect is not a factor of your age. Whether you're 20 years older than me, 30 years older than me, or even 1 year older than me, or even younger than me, everyone actually is treated with the same respect. Another thing I noticed in the workplace is taking vacations. Taking vacations is compulsory. Like, I remember in the peak of summer, I hadn't taken any days off yet, and I remember my supervisor kept reminding me, you need to take some days off. You need to take some days off. I mean, it was in the peak of the lockdown. I didn't really have anywhere to go to, neither did I have so much to do. But the idea of taking a break from work and doing something else, even if it's just binge watching Netflix during your days off, is something they entirely encourage. So the next point I'd like to talk about with regards to culture shocks that I have experienced since I moved here is this one. I'm not still used to it. I don't know if I'm ever going to get used to it. Maybe I might get used to it, but I still find it very funny. Here in Canada, many people, and I think it's the same thing with many other countries, to be honest. Here in Canada, they actually treat their pets like their children. In fact, I think some of their pets are even more spoiled than their children. Now, many people have dogs and cats that live with them in their houses, and opposite my house, like, in fact, right here, just that it's already dark, right here, if you look through this window, you'll be able to see a dog daycare, like a daycare that you take your child to. they have one that you can take your dogs to. So when we were still going to the office a lot, many people wake up in the morning, on their way out they drop their dogs there to someone who minds the dog while they're at work. And in the afternoon, sometimes I see them coming outside to play. They have a small playground that was just demarcated a little bit, and the minder stays with them and plays with them and takes them for walks. I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. So I've seen all of that happen. I've seen people that go for a walk and they have a stroller, and in the stroller you think there's a cute baby in the stroller, only for you to look and see a puppy or a dog in the stroller. Like, I've seen people that have car seats for their dog. I can't get over it. Like, I can't get used to it. Like, guys, I'm done with this topic. Let's go to the next point. So the next point is road signs. I noticed that here you never see anyone on the road controlling traffic like a human being called a traffic warden. I think in a few cases where there was a terrible situation of rain and it affected the traffic lights, I remember seeing a few policemen on the road urgently controlling traffic because the traffic lights were not working. Using the public transport here is also pretty efficient and convenient. One thing I noticed with the public transportation here is people are always very polite. So when you get to your bus stop and you're about to get off the bus, people always turn around to say thank you to the driver. So they're like, oh, thank you, and the guy opens the door for you and you get down. And I started seeing myself doing a lot of that. It's just very polite and very cute to say thank you to the driver before you get off the bus. Another thing I've noticed is people don't use their horns here except it's an emergency. Like, you can go out 1 week, 2 weeks, and you never hear a car horn. If you ever hear a car horn, just know that that was the only option the driver had. The next point I'm going to talk about is trust. I don't think I've lived in a society where there is a high level of trust as there is in Canada. And the reason I'm saying this is this. When we first arrived in Canada, I think it was within 2 weeks of our arrival in Canada where we got a credit card with a credit advance of $1,500. We hadn't even deposited any money in the bank. As soon as we opened our bank accounts, we were given credit cards of $1,500 because they trusted that we will repay the credit card if we ever use it up. And the truth is that things like this are easy because the data here is centralized. So where do you want to run to? At the end of the day, if anyone is trying to be funny or anything like that, it's very easy to trace people's data. Your SIN alone is what people actually need to be able to get all relevant information about you. So now the last point, which I don't want to dwell on because you probably already know about that, or I've said it in my previous videos, is the weather. Canada is freaking cold. Like, it's cold. Nothing ever prepares you for the cold. Even my YouTube videos cannot prepare you for the cold. And I've never lived anywhere that is this cold before. I think one thing that was really a shock for me, apart from the snowing, I knew all of that before, was the sunset. So the sunset is usually a lot earlier during the winter. 3:30, 4 p.m. everywhere is already dark and people have their headlights on. That's just weird. I think that brings me to the end of all the points regarding culture shock. But before I wrap up today's video, I just wanted to talk a little bit about things that I have been doing and things I think you can do to help cushion the blow. I mean, it's not going to change the fact that you might experience these things differently than I am experiencing it. Of course, you would experience it differently than I am experiencing it. You might find it easier to adjust, or you might even find it more difficult to adjust. But all in all, I feel like these little things are what add up at the end of the day to making it difficult for us to settle in quickly when we arrive in Canada. And then they make you feel out of place, and then that's when you start experiencing some kind of withdrawal, or thinking that maybe you shouldn't have come here, or thinking that this place is not for you, or thinking that you're the only one that's going through this. Meanwhile, everyone else is kind of just going through this, but no one is talking, right? The things that I usually try to do is definitely arm yourself with knowledge. There's so many things that I talk about on my YouTube channel that I wish someone had told me before I moved to Canada. So speak to people, talk to people, arm yourself with knowledge, know what to expect so that when it happens you won't be shocked. The next thing is, of course, ask questions. Be inquisitive. Ask, no matter how stupid the question might seem, ask questions. Let people talk to you about their experiences so it's easier for you. And that thing is do what makes you happy. At the end of the day, if all of this change is seeming like a lot for you to take in, find ways to escape. Find ways to escape. So for me, since I moved here, there are a few skills that I learned. In the summer, I learned to ride a bicycle for the first time. So during summer, my husband taught me to ride a bicycle. So we're always out almost every day, exploring the city, going on different trails. Now that it's cold and we don't get to ride our bicycles a lot, I do a lot of painting. At the end of the day, these little things might seem insignificant, but it helps us rechannel our energy, especially when we feel like we've had enough. So find ways to make yourself feel better. I also learned to make my hair. Yes, these braids I have on right now, I made it by myself. You can also start a YouTube channel just like me. Share your experience with other people as well. It might not be about sharing your experiences. It might be about something that you know how to do very well that many people don't know how to do. Teach someone out there, you know, spread the positivity, you know, like you're getting from my channel today, you know. So these are the things that I do to help me balance, you know, things out when it's seeming like it's a lot to handle. And that brings us to the end of today's video. So thank you for watching up to this point. You are the real MVP. If there's anything that I have said that you can relate with, please leave me a comment in the comment section below. Let's continue the conversation. Even if you're outside Canada, what culture shocks have you experienced that made you go, oh boy? Yes. If you enjoyed watching this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up, like the video, do not forget to share because there is love in sharing, and do not forget to hit the subscribe button and join the community so that you know when I have a new video up. And before you leave, please check out my other videos on my experiences as a newcomer in Canada, because you might also find them helpful. Till my next video, stay safe, take care of yourself, and always remember to be kind. Goodbye.